Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. Welcome to the pod every Wednesday, back to represent. Two dudes with attitudes, yeah, here comes the main event. Every week it's the dudes from the east and the west, breaking down everything you've seen and the best of the best. Came together on TikTok, hit it off from the jump, now they never gon' stop. Shooting star, PRS, you can hit the follow. My wrestling opinion is someone you should all know, and they call him MWO. Yeah, it's rich on the flow, and I thought you should know. Two dudes in the mood that be dropping the jewels. This is not for the fools, this is just how we do. Talking WWE, no one is touching the team. Cool, calm, collected. You can hit the 5 stars when it's time to rate on whatever platform.
Two dudes, get it straight, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast, and it is WWE time, y'all. Welcome. Really quick, for those of you who don't know, if you want to check it out, on Monday, we posted our first half of our WWE, which we're going to try to start doing during these like PLEs and pay-per-views and such. So we reviewed it already. We did our whole review for Survivor Series. So today we'll be covering Raw, NXT, and we have a pretty fun segment planned for everybody today. So yeah, so check it out if you haven't. As always, I'm the dude of Wrestle Talk, Mr. MWO, and with me as always is the man who has been forgotten's twin brother, Shooting Star Press, the honorary dude. What's going on? What's up with your twin brother now? He's just like has like one backstage promo now. He's
kind of lost in the wasteland. So I don't know what they're doing with old Sami Zayn. I'm hoping it's still leading to a heel turn, and he eventually turns on Jay, and he turns on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But Sami's better as a heel. He's way better as a heel.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you can see him if you're watching on video. That shot of him right about there. He's like such a good. He's so good. Such a good heel. So with that said, not a lot of news on the WWE front. They are trying to sell Monday Night Raw right now. They just announced there's like 4 different buyers or whatever to kind of get it on their network. Who knows? It's like the same 4 as always. They're like Disney, Amazon, Warner Brothers, a streaming service, Tony Khan. There's always like the same people up there to try to buy it. You have any input on that before we get started? Are you hoping for something?
I'm hoping for all out fireworks and chaos, because the NCAA tournament in basketball, I love it when there's like 4 16 seeds in the Sweet 16. Like, I just love chaos. And what I want to see is Warner Brothers Discovery make a run at Monday Night Raw, basically saying, sorry, AEW, you guys have to go somewhere else. We want them. And then I think that would cause all kinds of chaos. It'd be the biggest plot twist of the year.
Dude, WWE on Max would be insane. Yeah. And it's funny, too, because that signee that nobody thought should be signed, and it's not good for business, CM Punk, which we will talk about with his debut on Raw, could be helping these sales. So, I mean, 75 million views. You saw our TikTok friends out there, or TikTok cohorts, or whatever you want to call them.
They were on Raw,
on those reaction videos and so on. So it was obviously a big deal with how over it got. I mean, insane stuff. But with that said, go ahead.
I wouldn't mind to see. I know Fox dropped SmackDown like a bad habit, and that SmackDown got picked up by USA. I wouldn't mind seeing Fox make a run at Monday Night Raw, because remember when CM Punk was in his little hiatus, he worked on that backstage show. It was WWE. I think it was called Backstage. WWE Backstage, and it had CM Punk and Paige and Booker T and Christian were on it. The majority of them are now in AEW except for Punk and Booker. But yeah, and like the whole time the rumors were that he works for Fox. He's not working for WWE, and WWE, Vince McMahon was running it at the time. He purposely, the episodes Punk was on, he purposely didn't promote and that kind of thing. Now, I think I could see Fox being like, hey, we wanted this guy before. Now that he's on your show, we now want your show. So I think they may make a run at WWE. It wouldn't surprise me.
No, and Punk's for sure going to be on Raw, so that would work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to see Warner Brothers just for the fact that I'd like to see WWE on Max. I can
Oh yeah, that'd be
already
awesome too.
stream it. It'd be nice to see it.
And they would get it right away, whereas AEW's been like, I don't know what the heck they've been doing with the streaming service. So
I don't think they want it. I mean, when you're getting, did you see that all 3 shows didn't even beat Monday Night Raw in ratings? I mean, all 3 shows combined. So what?
Yeah.
I mean, who wants that? But what would they, if they got bought by Warner Brothers, what channel would they be on? They wouldn't just be on the streaming service. Obviously, they want to be on cable.
TNT, TBS, TNT.
Oh, so Warner 100% owns Turner now. That's like
yeah,
it's been like that. Okay.
Yeah, they own
everybody owns everybody. I don't know.
They own like the Discovery Channel too. That's like the Warner Brothers Discovery part. Yeah, so they could go on the Discovery Channel. Remember when SmackDown was on Sci-Fi? It was so weird.
Yes, I do.
They could put
good stuff.
They could put Raw on like TLC or something. I don't know, but
well, do you remember when like Spike TV changed its name and remember Impact or TNA was on it and it became like, what did Spike become? I forgot, but it was. Oh, there you are. There you are.
It was Destination America or something. Yeah.
What it was, I don't know. There was something else in between Spike, but I don't know. It was like a weird thing, and I was like, "Why is wrestling on this network with the name?" But yeah. So good time. Spike TV. I miss Spike TV. They started the TNA and all that. So
yeah, I wish they would bring it back.
Yeah, I agree. Since TNA's back, let's do it. But anyway, let's get into it. Monday Night Raw and NXT were popping this week. A lot of stuff to cover. I want to start off by saying that this Monday Night Raw felt like a Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. It felt like it. It had with the Orton, with CM Punk, with storylines, with Seth, you were just kind of wondering. It had that feel, right?
Oh,
and just like the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, I felt like it was the same darn. Was it better than the one we went to? Yes. But the disappointment factor was there. I just felt like once again, we had all this hype and excitement and Raw was just kind of there. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Things happened, but nothing really happened. And I want to start off with that with Randy Orton's return. So I do like the breakdown. I just want to cover it really quick because I texted you this and I thought it was cool because this is something that I noticed AEW doesn't understand. And I was watching Dynamite and MJF comes out at like 48 minutes into the show. You don't have anybody come out at 48 minutes at the show. I don't understand. Like maybe this is why they don't do good ratings, but you have someone start the show or a match hot, right? And then the first hour, you have somebody start the first hour. So that's like 58 minutes, 59, or on the hour mark, because that leads into your second half of your show. And then you end your show 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, with your main event or however you're going to do it to end. So you have the 3 parts to suck viewers in, right? AEW they just had MJF come out 48 minutes. He ended his promo before the hour mark was even done. And it's like, how is that building ratings? WWE though, they open with Randy, boom. Hour 1, they come out with, was it Cody Rhodes? Boom. Hour 2, they came out with Seth Rollins. Boom. And then they end with CM Punk. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. That's why they did a 1.9 almost million viewers. You're sucking the people in. You're keeping them tuned in to watch all your middle garbage or middle good, whatever it is, of the wrestling and the other storylines, the B and C level storylines, and building up to that. So this is what I really liked. And they opened up with Randy Orton. I personally think they should have opened up with CM Punk. I'm sorry. I do. I stand by that, especially after watching CM Punk's promo, which you'll get into. But Randy Orton's promo was a Randy Orton promo. I was hoping for a little bit. 2 things I was hoping. Ready? I was hoping for more. A little bit of venom in his viperness. You know what I mean? A little bit more fire into him. And I was hoping for him not to be feuding with the Judgment Day. If there is something I've learned with Triple H's booking on Monday Night Raw, is that if you are a babyface, you are just given Judgment Day to embarrass and to destroy. I don't know why this is the formula. And I don't have Judgment Day that we're talking about because they were kind of just there. But I do want to talk about Randy Orton's return as a full. So his promo and his match. So basically he cuts his promo. Happy to be here. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Dusty. Thank you, Cody. Blah, blah, blah. Then out comes Rhea Ripley, the hottest actor on Raw probably right now. She comes out looking fire, basically tells him to watch his mouth and don't get his business into the Judgment Days or he'll pay for it. Out come JD and Dominic Mysterio to get their butts whipped. And that leads to Rhea Ripley announcing that, her or one of them, that we're going to get Dirty Dom and Randy Orton tonight. And my heart just sunk because once again, NXT main events, who's going to wrestle Dirty Dom for his title? He is literally the main people are fighting to wrestle him, to get their butts whipped. But the night before, he's the joke. He's the guy who's going to get thrown out. He gets squashed by Randy Orton easily. He gets pinned. Randy Orton, I don't know if he's moving on, if he's feuding with Judgment Day, but we have talked about this immensely, is that the Judgment Day is freaking fire. Their merch has to be selling. They have 75. They introduced 8 new shirts on Survivor Series alone. Obviously they're an overact. Why are we not treating them as such? Stop teasing the breakups. Either break up, kick Damian out, or don't. Let's build this freaking faction and stop making them the jobbers to your top baby faces. Because that's what I finally have learned with Randy Orton now. They're like, all right, everyone else, you're good. Oh, you're back, Orton? You're a baby face, right? All right, yeah, let's give you Judgment Day. You'll beat Finn tomorrow and Damian at a Royal Rumble. And who else do you want? You want to fight Rhea too? Why not? They are the babyface jobbers, and it pisses me off because they should be the most dominant faction in all of wrestling.
I agree. We've been saying this. We sound like a broken record. I feel like we say this every other week because one week they look strong and the next week they look like jokes. And even this week, in their backstage stuff, they had the segment with R-Truth, and as entertaining as it was, they looked like jokes. It was, R-Truth was back there being like, "Hey, I'll be your fifth member, or I'll be your which it was funny."
He said fifth member, yeah.
He's like, Survivor Series happened 3 days ago. Oh, well, did y'all hear Randy Orton's back? Like it was funny stuff. But
did you all win? Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, it was funny, but at the same time, it just kind of shows you that. That's what they think of the Judgment Day right now, is they're going to put them in the comedy stuff backstage. And I'm not feeling it. And what I wanted to see with Randy Orton's promo was, and maybe this is coming in the future, but I wouldn't mind him RKOing Rhea Ripley, really like coming in and asserting his dominance. Or I wanted to see him have something with, I know we got a backstage moment, but call out Jey Uso, bring him to the ring and squash the beef in the ring in person, and not even have the Judgment Day there and involved in that segment. I think that I would have enjoyed that a little bit better, where he calls out, he says, "I'm going after the bloodline," because in his promo he said, "I'm going after the bloodline, every member of the bloodline, past or present." And so that's when I thought, okay, they're going to bring out Jey Uso, and Uso never came out. Instead, it was Rhea Ripley. And the other thing I didn't like about it was he said the exact same thing that Drew McIntyre said when Drew McIntyre was teaming with the Judgment Day. Drew McIntyre went on Instagram and wrote "Daddy's home," making me think like, okay, he's the new member of the Judgment Day, and they're gonna move Dominic out. He was Poppy, and now you have Rhea and Daddy, Rhea and Drew. Now it's Randy Orton literally said, "Well, guess what, Rhea? Daddy's back," and. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, we've heard this before. Like, I liked it. It wasn't bad. It just was it was a miss for me though.
Yeah, I gotta say this. I just don't like babyface Randy. I never have, and I love Randy Orton. Yeah. I'm a mark for Randy. Always have been, day one. But I just don't like babyface Randy. I mean, his character is a villain. He's the freaking Viper. That's what he's all based upon being. Like, it was like when Eddie became a babyface. Like, I got it, and but he turned into like a comedy act, right? Instead of just the heel that he was with lying, stealing, and cheating. Yeah, I mean, that's just Eddie is a heel. You know what I mean? It's just that's who he is, and that's who Randy is. And with this said, on your women's one with him, RKO and Rhea Ripley, I know I'm the minority, but I still don't want to see it. I know I might sound a little bit cliche because wrestling is scripted, but especially, the Patrick popped on. So this is for both of you, especially with your guys' hero, Von Miller, today being accused of beating his pregnant wife. His pregnant
he's a Buffalo
wife.
Bill now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all were happy when he won you that Super Bowl ring.
He moves to Buffalo and becomes an asshole. So
right. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, in real life, athletes are getting in trouble all the time for domestic violence.
Yeah.
And that's why I do. And I'm not harping on you because I know I'm a minority. I know everybody wants to see it. It's all over the world. Like, let's get Rhea in there. That's the only reason why I don't, just because I do still feel like people take this seriously. As a TikToker, believe it or not, people take this seriously. I get stuff all the time, and so do you in your comments about everything, like where people think it's real. So that's my only thing. But other than that, I do want a big time, I see that, a big time Randy Orton heel turn, or at least Randy Orton like MJF is right now, or like Stone Cold was, where at least he's a villain, but he's still a baby face. You get what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. And I have a feeling we're going to get that heel turn from Randy Orton relatively soon, maybe next week, because he says he's going after the Judgment Day. And apparently him and Jey Uso backstage, they patched things up. They shook hands and said that, we're cool because you're not in the Judgment. You're not in the bloodline anymore. I'm, but I'm still going after all of them. He's going to be on SmackDown this Friday. But next week, Jey Uso has a World Heavyweight Championship match against Seth Rollins. And I see Randy Orton coming out and costing him that match.
Well, let's talk about that since that's your next up, because I do want to talk about that. So... Yeah.
So Seth Rollins comes out, and first of all, he comes out. They're singing his song, and then all of a sudden they cut into the CM Punk chants, and I was a little confused as to like, is he turning heel? Is he gonna be the heel in this feud? Is he still a babyface? Because they were like singing his song, and then they were doing the CM Punk chants, and you could tell it was bugging him, or at least character wise, it was bugging him. And he even told him to get it all out of your system, get them all out. And then he said that he's not making any more time for that hypocrite anymore. And he spent all this time trying to tear the company down, and now he's back. But he says he's not going to waste his breath on that hypocrite anymore. And then he's talking about Survivor Series and War Games and everything that happened, and out comes Drew McIntyre. And I mean, I'm telling you, man, it was a good little promo battle that they had back and forth with each other. And the big thing is Drew McIntyre basically said that, Seth, I told you last week that you're a champion of honor. I meant it. And one day when I get a rematch, I want the best man to win. And Seth Rollins said that, hey, well, next week I'm defending the championship, and I'm defending it against Jey Uso of all people. And that caused Drew McIntyre to just snap. And he headbutted Seth Rollins. He then he lost his skirt, his kilt in the middle of all this too. He came up with, luckily he had something on underneath, but yeah,
is it lucky?
Yeah,
I thought it was a womp womp.
but yeah, I love the realism of this, where he grabs Seth Rollins and he's just like, I beat him 2 weeks ago to get the advantage. Why does he get the rematch? Why is it always Jay? And then this is what killed the segment for me. Is Jey Uso comes out and he's doing what Jeff Hardy did when he came back at AEW, where instead of running right to the ring with a passion, he's like dancing to the crowd and he's doing his Usi thing. And he doesn't do it as long as Jeff Hardy did, but I'm like, dude, get down there, like show some urgency, get down into the ring. And so finally he I don't know, he has a weird strut, but he leans forward when he runs into the ring, and him and Drew start fighting it out. And yeah, I mean, it was a cool segment. I'm just really confused as to why Jey Uso is getting a World Heavyweight Championship. Like, what has he done to earn it? He loses he's main event Jey Uso, but he loses every main event that he's in. He's always taking the pinfalls for his team. What has he done? What has he done to earn it? I don't understand it. Is it, he gave one to Sami Zayn a few weeks ago, and Sami Zayn didn't really earn it either. But now all of a sudden, is he going to give one to Cody Rhodes? Is every member of Team Cody at Survivor Series getting a title shot? Is Randy Orton getting one anytime? Is that what he's doing it for? I don't know, but the Drew McIntyre stuff was cool up until Jey Uso, and then I'm also kind of curious as to why Jey Uso's getting the title shot in the first place.
Yeah, my thing with this is that it really feels like Seth was a heel and Drew was a babyface, and that's how it felt, because everything Drew's saying is right. I'm agreeing with it. Everything he's saying. I'm like, yes. Why Jay? Yeah, Jay didn't do anything in the War Games. He hasn't done anything since he's come back. He's literally just a guy there getting blamed for everybody and cowering away. I don't understand how he gets a title shot in any way, shape, or form. I thought it was stupid. I literally, when I heard Seth talking about that he had somebody that he had already talked, I was like running through my head, like, who is it going to be? Punk already? Is it going to be like, that means I'm trying to like run through my brain, and Jey Uso was not on there. So yeah, man, I feel for Drew as well. I don't understand this. Unless what you're saying is true, that you think there's going to be a heel turn next week on Randy Orton, that makes sense. Because the Viper does do that. He does, mislead people and say one thing, and then he's that Viper, right? Sneaks out and
that's the only way and then that's the match at Rumble or something. I don't know,
but I'm assuming it's going to be Drew who interferes on it. I think they're going to build this to Royal Rumble. Drew's going to interfere. But what is this doing for Drew? You know what I mean? It's like, we got Rollins and McIntyre at the Rumble, but what do we do after? Like, Rollins is going to win, obviously, because the money's him and Punk. So we're going to have Drew lose again. I don't know what that does for him either, but I guess if we'll see. The future holds it. But the promo was good. I thought this one was better than his one that Drew did by himself before. This one was a little bit more passionate, more believable. Than he wasn't as whiny as he was. And Seth did okay. I like that Seth brought up CM Punk. I do like that. That just shows once again, for all you believers out there, that this is scripted and he's doing this on purpose to build that feud. So, but yeah, I like it. I liked it enough. I liked it more him bringing up CM Punk than I liked CM Punk not bringing up Seth later on in the night. So
yeah,
but yeah.
And I am glad that CM Punk didn't come out and get that promo, but I feel like they got to let that marinate a little bit. And I'm glad it was Drew McIntyre that came out over Punk. I think. Keep them separated for right now.
Yeah, as my boy Andre from the league always says, "Ooh, you got to keep them separated." I don't know if you've ever seen the league.
But
it's
I love the league.
Show up. Ooh, you got to keep them separated. But anyway, let's go into someone that I've been harping on lately, and that is one Bronson Reed. I've talked about him a few times, that he isn't that athletic, that I think he's kind of boring for a big man. He doesn't do a lot of big man stuff. And once again, I do believe that people listen to this podcast because as soon as I ever say anything or you say something, they turn their lives around. And oh man, has Bronson Reed turned his life around. And with that said, Ivar's slowly becoming a star. And in the WWE, there is something, this is what AEW needs, which they don't focus on enough, but WWE, you need those good B storylines and C storylines, because you just need everything to be flowing, right? You need stories everywhere. It doesn't just have to be Roman and Seth with the stories. It needs to be everybody. And they are doing this really, really well right now. And something else that WWE is doing really well right now is having those big, meaty men slapping me in some good ass matches. This match to me was, I thought, the match of the night on Raw. It only went 9 minutes. It went to a double count out, which it needed to go to a double count out. Sometimes double count outs work. In this case, it worked because you don't want either of them taking an L right now. But holy cow, did these guys bring it. And big meaty men are back. I am an Attitude Era guy. Okay, I'm before Attitude Era. Actually, I'm the golden era. I started watching when I was 3, before WrestleMania even happened. That's how old I am. And big men were never really allowed to wrestle other big men because just people didn't want to see it. You know what I mean? You didn't get that a lot. Even Diesel and Undertaker, those matches didn't get any much praise as a Diesel against Shawn or Undertaker versus Shawn, right? You didn't want two big men wrestling each other. You wanted the big man to wrestle the smaller man. Yeah, big meaty men slapping meat, my man. And I think that is dead. We saw Bronson Reed's other best match against Gunther, another big meaty man. I know he's not as fat as, big as he was, but he's still a big meaty man. These big meaty men are bringing it, man. And I'm happy for it. And I got to take back saying Bronson Reed wasn't as athletic, because he brought it, and he is athletic, because for him and Ivar to do the things they were doing in this match, even though it's only 9 minutes, you got to think how much harder it is for them to do that compared to a Johnny Gargano and a Seth Rollins and a Randy Orton. This is hard for them to carry that weight, to have the endurance to do these flips and these moves and these splashes. And I was all for it. Out of everything that happened on Raw with a bunch of returns and this and that, this was the thing I enjoyed the most, to be honest, was big old Bronson Reed versus big old Ivar. Sign me up all the time. And I listen to Bronson Reed on the
Busted Open.
Busted Open podcast. Thank you very much. I just listened to it and he seemed like a really cool guy. So Bronson Reed, MWO, loves it. I'll eat a shoe. I apologize. I'm a fan now. You seem like a cool dude and you're slowly bringing it to your performances. So thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the big meaty men are back, not just in WWE, but in AEW too. We just saw a great match between Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro at All Out, where everybody was chanting. They were chanting for the big meaty men, and they were going at it, and it was incredible. And then, the things that I think the best thing that happened to Ivar, and I don't wish injury upon anybody, but was the other member of the Viking Raider going down with the injury, because now we've been able to see what he can do in the ring as a solo competitor. And I actually like this little side feud. And I like that it carried over into NXT as well. Ivar, they were using security to fight each other. They were using weapons to fight each other on Raw. And Ivar showed up in NXT and they continue their brawl again. So I'm really digging what they're doing with this. And these guys, they can go. They can really go.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, man.
I'm gonna Patrick. This guy's funny.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the last 6 minutes of Monday Night Raw. And I'm putting emphasis on 6 freaking minutes of Monday Night Raw, because your boy Dirty Dom and Randy Orton apparently went a little too long in their match, and so they left CM Punk with about 6 minutes. But they've been hyping it all night. CM Punk will have a live microphone in front of the Nashville crowd. And, the promo, he came out and basically he said that he's home, that he's back where he belongs. A wise man told him that in order to get everything he needed to get, he would need to leave. And luckily, though, unfortunately, the wise man was right. Obviously, a little nod there to Paul Heyman. He mentioned AJ Lee, that AJ Lee is doing fantastic and she sends her regards. The first time they've mentioned her on WWE TV since she left. And then he talked about how the fans, they were the voiceless. They found their voices, and he hasn't forgotten. And he's heard them chanting his name in buildings all around the world. And he heard them, and he's back. He talked about being the best in the world and how, everyone's been happy to see him. Some people even kissed him on the mouth. Like, I want to know who that was. But he said somebody even kissed me on the mouth, and everyone's been happy to see me. Well, almost everybody, probably nodding to one Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, maybe Rhea Ripley, all the stuff that happened at Survivor Series. And then he, and then the thing ends basically saying that he's home. And then the show goes, we see the logo, his music hits, and he looks at the camera and he says that he's not here to make friends, he's here to make money. And then the show goes off the air. And was it a bad promo? No. Was it almost identical to everything he said when he debuted in AEW in 2021? Yes. But did I expect more? Also, yes. I was hoping that they would give us a glimpse at who his first feud will be. I was hoping that, maybe Seth Rollins would come out there at the end, or somebody else would come out at the end. Maybe we get Paul Heyman. I don't know what I was expecting, but it felt very tame. It felt very scripted. And if anything about CM Punk, he A, is not scripted, and B, he hates being scripted. And so this felt this felt like somebody wrote it and handed it to him and said, you must read all of this word for word. And he said, okay. And that's exactly what happened. And it was much, maybe I don't know what would have happened if he had more time. But like I said, I think Randy Orton and Dominic going a little long in their match, they left him with 5 or 6 minutes to cut a promo. And that's what they delivered. I just wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah, I'm still, I was hoping that, for one, I was hoping that somebody would come out. That's number one. I was thinking it might be Nakamura, but we ended up, which we didn't talk about, Nakamura is feuding with Cody Rhodes. He came out and spit in Cody Rhodes' face with the mist and then did nothing afterwards. We got a special attraction.
Yeah, my Alexa's talking.
Yeah, so we got Nakamura coming out. He's going to feud with Cody Rhodes, but we didn't get him with CM Punk. And so I don't know if this promo was done on purpose, if Triple H told him, yay, look, let's ease into this. We don't need you to start ruffling feathers and calling out people and pipe bombing it right now to pee people off. Let's get you in and be on good terms. I don't know if that's really how it happened or whatnot, or maybe Punk just was here just to say hi and this and that, and they're going to start him up next week. I don't know, but the one positive is that I was hoping he wasn't going to sit there and trash AEW.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't.
Just like I say about AEW guys in WWE, like they talk about WWE, I hate it. I don't like it. I feel the same way about WWE talking about AEW. You're bigger than that. You talk about the other company, you're Bush League. I've always felt that way. Always.
Mm-hmm.
During the Monday Night Wars, Vince and them, they rarely ever brought up WCW because they were better then. Why are they going to talk about, whatever? Road to Rumble is a long way. They're just testing water to see what the best you to go with, I guess. Possibly. That's a good, I like all that food on your picture, my man. It looks yummy. I'm about to get some sushi tonight. I'm getting hungry over here. But I don't know if that's why, or they don't know who he's feuding with. He needs to feud with someone before Rollins. You got to keep him busy. You're keeping Rollins busy with McIntyre. So you need Punk to feud with somebody. Who could it be? I mean, shoot, right now you can give me Chad Gable, for crying out loud. I'll take Gable and Punk all day, every day. I'll just take anybody. But yeah, I know what you meant. I wanted more from it. I wanted more than just, hi, I'm home. I love you guys. People kissed me on the mouth pretty deadly. And that's really it. Like, I don't know. That's who it was. But yeah, yeah.
The one thing that kind of bugged me though, is it also felt a little disingenuous. He came back and said, I'm back because of all of you and you fans, you found your voices and I never forgot that. And, people are scared because the best in the world hasn't been here. Well, I'm here now. And, it's all because of the people. And then he ends it with, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. So as in, he's like basically saying like, I'm really only here to make a paycheck. I really don't care about any of this other stuff. It just felt really disingenuous to me.
So I was thinking about that too, right? Especially because he was talking about how everybody was loving him and how happy they were to have him back. And then he said he didn't want to make friends. He wants to make money. But to quote, once again, bust it open, my boy Bully Ray, I got to give him credit on this, that he was saying that Vince McMahon taught him and Mark Henry and a bunch of guys that wrestling's a business, man. You can't take it personal. Yeah. You're going to get talked to a certain way and this and that. He thinks he meant that he's here for big business. He's here to make money, not for himself, but as a company as a whole. And that's what he was thinking, that, hey, you guys want to be my friends, be my friends. If not, I'm going to make money. And he already is. His t-shirt's already #1 on WWE Shop. This is the highest Raw rating in like forever, a 25% increase from last Monday. I mean, sales are booming. That was because of CM Punk, not Randy Orton. He's already doing his thing. And when we thought he was dead in the water at AEW, my only thing is that I think what we're learning from this is how I don't know if I want to say commercialized or how AEW isn't. That even when they get a CM Punk, they couldn't pull ratings like this, didn't get as many views. That just shows how far apart WWE and AEW truly are. That we all thought Punk wasn't even a draw anymore in AEW because he wasn't getting what he needed to do, just because he wasn't in the right place, my man. And maybe
that's all it was. Yeah.
And maybe people are this might be the worst decision Tony Khan has made, which I thought at the time was the best decision. So we shall see. Yeah. But yeah, man, you got one more? Or are we going to NXT? You ready?
Yeah, no, that's all I got on CM Punk.
We'll be let's jump into it. Yeah, let's jump into it. NXT, my man. And we're going to do 2 each this time because we got some time. We got some things. So I want to start off with something that I was confused about. And now I'm even more confused. And there's something during the HBK era of NXT that I haven't really done, and that's felt lost. I feel like I've been kind of digging everything my man, the GOAT, has been doing, the greatest of all time. And this is the Chase U investigation. They open up. So basically what happened was that these dudes finally won the tag team. They finally won gold in general, right? Chase U has been the main attraction. NXT 2.0 started. Everyone wears the shirts, they're promoted. I mean, you can't really think of NXT if you're a true fan without thinking of Chase U. That's who they are. They're a part of the NXT brand. That's just, they're like I don't know even how to compare it. They're like the bloodline, I guess, in a sense that, you think of wrestling, you think of, I think they're even bigger than that. But either way, Chase U are those guys. They never got respect. They were always just kind of a classroom in the back. Andre Chase would come out and lose, and Job and the other people didn't really wrestle. They finally are building like a good little crew. They win the belts finally. NXT fans everywhere are happy. They're rejoicing. And what do? We have them job 2 weeks later due to an investigation that distracted Andre Chase, led by Tony D'Angelo, which I guess he's gambling. Either way, the long story short, he had a press conference, and we find out that Andrew Chase, like 50% of American males in the world, has a gambling problem and is in debt. And now Chase U might go bankrupt and go under.
What?
So yeah. I understand that we're supposed to make believe that Chase U is a real university in their little like shoddy room that's as big as my bedroom, but I don't. Where are we? What does Tony D have to do? Because he's like an Italian guy. Like, was he making bets with him and he owes Tony D money? And that's what. Here's my thing with it all. If you want to do a stupid gambling debt thing, which was it was so dumb that even the guys in Chase U were trying to like, yes, exactly. Our man Varna, like just keeping it like it's like I was. Even they were laughing in the background. They're like, "What the heck, a gambling debt?" Like I don't know if they knew it was going to be said. It was just really, I have no words. It was so weird. But what I don't like is that why couldn't we do this 3 or 4 months down the road? Chase U deserves some gold. Why don't we build them up, have them win a while, feel like they're on top of the world, like they're going places, and Chase U is, oh my gosh, they are doing it. They're fun. They're gonna fight for like a main title, maybe a women's title again, and then boom. Investigation, Chase U is being investigated, and then take him down. You kind of just like gave him the belt instantly. They weren't even like climbing the mountain yet, and now we're being investigated. Now we're just going to end Chase U or start. I don't know. I just thought it was really bad timing, and I don't know how anybody in the world thought him having a gambling problem was going to be a good. Why are you getting investigated? Who gets investigated for debt? Please explain to me. Even celebrities don't get investigated for debt. Does it make the news? Sure. Investigated? Yeah. They were being investigated.
It's not like, you only get investigated if you don't like pay your taxes or something. Yeah.
Yes. Or harassment or assault or not paying gambling debts. It was all just stupid. I was like, man.
I thought this was, I was expecting, you talk about expectations. I was expecting some big bombshell that, that Andre Chase was going to turn heel or he was going to, that he did something, but gambling, like what? What are we like? This was a complete letdown. I was looking forward to this all week of figuring out what the heck it is they were going to be revealing with Chase U. What was it they were being investigated for? And that's what they gave us was gambling debts. I don't even know what this is leading to. I don't know if this is leading to a rematch between Chase U and the family, if this is leading to everybody breaking away from Chase U, or if this brings them closer together and then they go on a tag team championship run. I don't know where this is going. But it's not off to a good start. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, our new fan Varna over here just put in, it's a thing among soccer players right now. That's a good point. And I was thinking that because I know that AEW and WWE have been trying to build that whole, what is it called? What's the main gambling site called that everybody uses?
FanDuel or
FanDuel. Yeah. They're trying to get in DraftKings, not FanDuel, DraftKings. They're trying to get into that right now and trying to have people be able to gamble in wrestling, professional wrestling. I wonder. And people, not just soccer players, but American football players have gotten in trouble for that as well. Or in basketball, I don't know. A lot of them are getting in trouble. They have been investigated because they're gambling on themselves, which you're not allowed to do. So I wonder if they're going to do something like that. Did he gamble on himself to lose the Tony D? And this is going to hype up the whole thing to build I did it on, DraftKings and blah, blah, blah to try to promote that and build that up. I don't know. That could be a thing. I can see them saying he gambled on himself to lose Pete Rose and so on. So I guess we'll see. But he couldn't have done that because he's not winning money. He's losing money. So I don't know how they can, but I wonder if it's somewhere around that. So I agree with the whole, I guess there are investigations if you're gambling on yourself. A bunch of issues with NFL players betting. That's right. Yeah. So,
Yeah, and speaking of WTF moments, I texted you what we were going to talk about before the show, and I said I want to talk Joe Gacy WTF, and like, what are they doing with this guy? I'm kind of digging it, but I'm also kind of like, what the hell? Like, he was hiding out under the ring the whole time with Ariana Grace during the women's match, and
Mhm.
he's tapping on it above, like, and he's like, "Good luck up there," and he's basically saying that he's beneath everybody, and he's always been beneath us, and he's he's now hanging out underneath the ring, and nobody went to check on him. Like, even the commentary team was like, Booker T was like, "Why don't you go check on him?" To the, I can't remember the guy's name on commentary, but
yeah.
And he was like, "And leave you here with the live? No, thank you." But
true.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with Joe Gacy. I think that's the big thing. I'm curious, so I'm not hating on it. I'm not ripping it because it's a little different than what he was doing with Schism, and he's been kind of acting a little deranged. He's been interrupting matches a lot with some of his antics in the crowd and that kind of thing. So I'm not going to rip it too much because I want to see what they're doing with it. But I am a little concerned. I feel like they don't really have anything for him, and I don't know what this is going to lead to.
Yeah, I don't want to crap on it yet, but I'm crapping on it because I'm not digging it. Is he Mankind or is he Hornswoggle? What are they trying to make him be by hiding under the ring? Because
is he Bray Wyatt?
There, or is he? Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do. The girl Ariana Gracie, is that how you say her name? That's at the beauty pageant girl. Did you know that's Santino Marella's daughter? I just found that out.
Oh no,
cool.
I didn't.
Yeah, the beauty queen in NXT is Santino Marella's daughter. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
Major props to her. She's a second generation. Look it up. Quote me. But yeah, I just found that out. I was intrigued. But anyway,
I just found out that Brooks Jensen is the son of Bull Buchanan. I didn't know that either.
I didn't.
Another second generation superstar. Yeah.
Do you know Lexus King is the son of Brian Pillman? Anyway, so boom.
He doesn't. Yes. I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't. We'll get into him too. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get the whole like I'm beneath you, but then you're beneath us literally. Like, I don't know. It was kind of stupid. Well, once again, I don't want to crap on it yet. Right now, it is a WTF moment for me, but we'll see. I don't want to poop on it yet. I wasn't digging the Toni Storm stuff, and I'm still not digging it. But she's the champion. It's working. So I don't want to poo-poo on stuff until it gets there. So we'll see what happens. Did you look that up? Is that Santino Marella's daughter, by the way?
I
thought you looked it up. Never mind. Keep going. And what were we going to say?
I was just going to say, and like then he emerged at the end of the ring, at the end of the match, and took the ring bell,
and stole the ring bell.
Yeah, and then he's like in the crowd ringing the ring bell.
Yeah,
she is the daughter of Santino Marella.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, pretty cool.
But it's just all of it. I don't know what they're doing.
They got it back too. They didn't even have, like it just like the briefcase. It's like, oh, we got it back. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. We talked to you after the show and made him give it so stupid.
Yeah, what's the point? Yeah, I don't know. It was ridiculous. But let's talk about something positive on NXT. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? So we had our boy Wesley. He wanted an NXT North American rematch, and to get that, my boy, the biggest heel in the world, Dirty Dom, ladies and gentlemen, said you got to beat 3 previous champs. So he gave him some Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, and some Grimes.
Cameron
to
Grimes,
the moo. Cameron Grimes. Sorry, I just like saying Grimes. He's to the moo. Former $1 million belt champion as well. And the thing is that I liked about it was that to build up to this main event, they had hype videos for all 3 men, and holy cow, did it make them feel like stars. And what I wanted to talk about was that it was something so simple. They did 2-minute promos, maybe even less, for each of these guys, showing them who they were, how loved they were, the championship belts they've won, who they are, how devastating they are. And the match felt important because you thought, holy crap, Wesley, how is he going to get through this? And even though Wesley pulled out the victory, all 3 of them still felt like big stars. They didn't bring them down at all. And all 3 of them right now, minus maybe Bronson Reed, who's starting to kind of get something going on, what are they doing? And why can't we do this on Raw and SmackDown? And that's what I wanted to get at, was that if NXT, we can't dedicate 2 minutes, a minute and a half to each of these guys to hype them up on Raw and SmackDown and then give them a match and a win to kind of build them up. Because Gargano, I mean, watching that video, I forgot how big Gargano was, man. Because when I think of NXT to this day, I still think of Ciampa. Ciampa's my dude. Best NXT champion ever. Him and Goldie for life, bro. And I know there's even bigger, blah, blah, blah. But Ciampa was my dude. And Gargano did win the heavyweight. He won the North American. And he was the first real like NXT North American champion that felt like important when he had it. I mean, he was that guy. DIY, probably the best tag team ever in NXT. I know people might say, you know, other people, FTR,
Let's
and so
look
on.
at him
But
now, though.
and now they're jobbing. Like, that's what I'm saying. You have these guys who felt important in NXT at one point. Why can't they feel important on Raw and SmackDown? CM Punk wasn't feeling important on AEW, came over, and he's a huge star. You just got to do it right, promote them right. And I just felt like NXT, just watching this, reminded me of why these guys, like, just give them that video, man. Like, Bronson Reed's doing it now, kind of, with Ivar. Why can't Cameron Grimes get that? The dude is good. Dude's money. And Gargano's 100% money. Gargano's one of the best in the ring. He just isn't respected enough to get that moniker under his belt. But he is, for sure. So...
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's my we've always talked about how NXT always operates as its own separate universe against the WWE main roster universe. And Gargano, you know, last year at Stand and Deliver, he was going up against Grayson Waller in place of Shawn Michaels, and he was getting wins on NXT, and then he would be in random feuds on Raw and would get jobbed or would lose in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And DIY right now is they were in the tag team turmoil thing at the beginning, on the first hour of commercial free Raw. And I don't even think they made it to the second round. And and like, I don't even know what Cameron Grimes is doing on SmackDown. I know the last time I saw him, he beat Baron Corbin, but you know, everybody beat Baron Corbin when he was on the main roster. And then you know, Bronson Reed, you know, he's taken L after L after L. So I do hope that that this gives them something to build off of, and they are stars. And if you want to build the stars of tomorrow, you got to promote them right. And I like the hype videos. I just want them to transfer them over to Raw and SmackDown now.
Well, it's like we said, NXT is a whole nother universe. Perfect point was Dirty Dom. He took a huge L, got basically and I know Randy should have beat him, but he was basically just squashed. And now the next night, people are fighting to fight him, and he's a big deal. He's sitting in the thing, being all cocky, and he's the man, and that's how Dirty Dom should be. That's how everyone in Judgment Day should be pushed. Don't get me started. All right, what's your last? What's your last? Let's get another WTF.
Another WTF moment. What are they doing with Lexis King? Like, first of all, like I see. I don't normally side with AEW on things, but I see now why AEW released him from their. They didn't re-sign him because I just don't think this guy has the charisma. I don't think he has it, and his in-ring stuff hasn't been very good. He had a match this week with who was it? It was not Bronson Reed, but the guy I just said. It was Brooks Jensen, and you know, I'm just. But then they showed the NXT Anonymous thing where he's in the proximity of Trick Williams while Trick Williams is in the back, and Trick Williams, then you see him running through the open door, and it looks like that he's the attacker of Trick Williams. And even Carmelo Hayes was, and Trick had a backstage segment saying, "I can't believe he attacked me," and Carmelo Hayes is like, "I know, he took everything, he cost me my shot at the Iron Survivor." And you know, Trick Williams is like, "Yeah, but you know, we can't be," he's like, "I'm going to get him tonight." And he's like, "We can't be attacking people." And he's like, "Our days of hitting people from behind are done." And Carmelo Hayes is like, "Oh, it is? They are?" Like, question. And then boom.
Question.
And then, you know, so therefore it's clearly Carmelo Hayes. That's my long-winded way of saying we all know it's the person that attacked him is Carmelo Hayes. Just they're probably going to save it for the pay-per-view. I get it. The NXT deadline, they're probably going to reveal it then. But still, this is I don't like Lexis King being added into this whole thing. I don't like Carmelo Hayes and Lexis King fighting in the middle of the Brooks Jensen match. And then like the Brooks Jensen's friend or his Briggs holding Carmelo Hayes back, from to prevent him from attacking Lexis King. Like, I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on. So that was my WTF moment of the week, was what the hell are we doing with Lexis King?
I agree. And my only thing is, the only thing I can think, because he has no charisma. He has done nothing. His matches are whatever. His beard is even stupider. And I'm glad they brought that up. But the only thing I can see is that he's working with Carmelo Hayes. That's the only thing I can see that would work, because Carmelo comes out to cost him his match, but he won it for him. Carmelo Hayes is the one who attacked, Trick Williams, but he was following him. You know what I mean? Lexis King was following him on that video. That's the only thing I can see, is if they're in cahoots. Because I don't see what else is going to come of this. Are we building a Lexis King and Trick Williams feud? Are we? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I guess we shall find out and see. But yeah, I'm not digging it. I think it's a WTF moment as well, back to back. NXT wasn't a bad show, but there was just a lot of like confusing things going on. That's the problem. I mean, at least they're trying to build stories. Stories don't always have to be loved, and sometimes you have to get the story through its rut to get to where it needs to go, because you're building up to it. I mean, it's like any sitcom, man. Like, if you're an Office fan, you go back and watch season 1 of The Office. It was like 6 episodes. They were like meh.
Just they were. I know
some people say they're trying to, and then season 2 and then beyond, it becomes one of the greatest shows ever. Not all shows are Friends. Not all shows are where every episode is a hit, right? Sometimes it takes a while for shows to kind of kick in. Maybe that's how it is with these feuds too, is that we're just trying to get there, you know what I mean? And so we'll see. I don't want to crap on it yet, but they are right now. All of those were WTF moments. So
yeah, it was awful. So that's our week in review of WWE, Raw, and NXT.
Yes, sir. And now we're gonna do a little thing. Get your thing ready. It's with everything going on, with CM Punk returning, with Randy Orton coming back, with us hitting the Royal Rumble season. And when it's Royal Rumble time, it is the road to WrestleMania, where hopefully we will both be there again, second year in a row, hopefully in Philly.
Yeah.
And so with that said, we're going to do a little bit of thing. What are we going to do, my man? Let's hear it. Play that.
We all know what time it is.
It's prediction time. Before it ever happens, it's a prediction. Lean in close, take notes, listen. Cause they about to point it out quickly. All the things that you didn't see is getting called like plays at the line of scrimmage. You can take it to the bank, the dudes ain't tripping. They've been seeing what's coming for a good minute. It's prediction time, yeah, let's get it.
Anytime I dance now, I do the swerve when I drive dance every single time. I go to the clubs, getting those girls during my divorce after. I'm like just hitting this, doing the swerve. I'm like, don't worry, girls. I'll swerve when I drive, girls.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, they are. They're like, are you that guy from YouTube? I'm like, duh. All right, you ready? So what prediction time is it? Because we have no PLE coming up right now, but we have something coming up in April, and that is WrestleMania. So we are going to do our way to freaking early, but maybe predictable WrestleMania card predictions. What we're going to do is that we each came up with 10, because I forced Shooting Star Press to do it. And he's going to do his bottom 5, meaning 5, mid-card matches. I'll do my 5 mid-card matches. Then he's going to do his 5, title or main event type matches. He has to give me a night 1 and night 2 main event. And then I will do the same. And we will go back on this and see how perfectly right we are, because all Triple H does is steal from us. So
that's right.
With that said, we always start with the handsome man, the one whose twin brother was trying to get in Drew McIntyre's pants last night this Monday on Raw. That is Shooting Star Press. Let's go. What's your first 5? Let's hear him. If you want to give quick explanations, whatever you want to do. Let's go.
All right. So I'm going to say we're going to get Finn Balor versus Damian Priest for the Money in the Bank contract. I still think there's some shenanigans going on with that Money in the Bank briefcase, the purple briefcase. I still think Finn and JD have a plan. They still have the green one. So I think it's going to lead to Damian Priest versus Finn Balor at WrestleMania.
That's hot, bro. How long does he have to cash it?
He has until I think he has 1 calendar year, and he won it at Money in the Bank. So I would say May or June.
Okay, so that was that late, huh? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was right before SummerSlam.
All right.
My other match is I'm gonna say it's gonna be Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships.
For one, say Chelsea Green's name correct when you say it. Secondly, it's Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Yeah. Sorry.
There you go. I love that she gets that. You think they'll still be tag team champs by then, huh?
I think so. I think so. And I think Sonya Deville will come back and play a factor in this and all that. But
yes,
I think
please.
they're doing something with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. I just like after that press conference at Survivor Series, I feel like they're gonna put them together.
As long as they don't have titles, so like heavyweight titles, let's do it. All
right. I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How does Gunther lose it? To who? Chad Gable? You're still going with that?
I'm going to go with him losing it to Chad Gable. I'm torn between Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser, but yeah, I'm going to say Chad Gable is the one that takes it from him.
All right.
So that's match 3. All right, I'll give you 2 big beefy meaty men slapping meat.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Brock Lesnar versus a recently
Omos.
called
Omos
Omos 2. The rematch we all want to see. Brock Lesnar and Omos. No, I'm going to say Brock Lesnar versus recently called up Braun Breaker. I feel like Braun Breaker is going to debut in the Rumble, and we're going to get that match at WrestleMania. I feel like that's a good way to introduce Breaker to the main roster. He's going to eliminate Brock, or Brock's going to eliminate him, and it's going to cause chaos.
I'm not gonna lie, my Blue Chew just kicked in with that one. I like it. All right, and match 5.
Match 5. I'm going to say it's going to be Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. That's what I'll go with.
All right, that's one of the predictable ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Those are good. I like them. Some of those were outside of the box too, so I like it. We're not just like thinking inside the box. I only have like 2 that I think are really outside the box. All the rest I think are pretty obvious.
Yeah, a lot of mine are outside the box.
Just because I want to be right for once in my life. All right, number 10. You're gonna hate this. You keep saying you want somebody to turn heel. I'm going. The guys who main evented night 1 of WrestleMania will square off against each other. We got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. They always put up good matches. I know it's happened 1,000 times.
Yeah, it happens.
But has it happened at Mania? Give them the WrestleMania moment. I don't think it's happened.
Yeah, I don't think it has.
Let's see them bang. Let's see a heel Sami Zayn versus a babyface Kevin Owens. Number 9, my match number 9. I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to do Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I think they're going to be kind of on the outs of the title match right now, and we need 2 bangers to go. I think they get in, and who knows, that might be the end of Drew on his way out, a la Brock and Stone Cold. I don't know. You know how it's going to go, but yeah, our Brock and Goldberg, sorry. I know they were both out, not Randy, but seeing Drew on his way out after a Mania match.
Right.
8, I'm going to go with the retirement match, and I'm going to stick to this. I said this a year ago. I'm going to keep to it. Dirty Dom versus Rey Mysterio. I think it makes even more sense now with Rey's huge injury. I think he'll come back, do with Santos, beat him, and have his Mania match against Dirty Dom and let his son do what he should have done last year.
Yeah, the deadbeat. The deadbeat wouldn't put his own son over. And I think he will be retiring him. I'm going to go with the women's championship. Actually, no, I'm going to skip the women's championship. Let's go. I'm going to do what you did. I'm going to do it's got to be the Usos. Jey versus Jimmy Uso. That's
to see who is the better of the Usos. Will they be fighting for Roman Reigns' love by then? I don't know where we're going to be with that. Does Jey turn? So on and so on. But I got Jey versus Jimmy. And following with the bloodline, I'm going to go with the rematch. I'm going to go with this person's last match. I think he will retire. We will have a couple retirements at this year's Philadelphia WrestleMania. I'm going John Cena versus Solo Sikoa.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I think Cena wins and then retires.
Okay.
Thus still putting Solo over. So
yeah.
Those are my bottom 5. So I don't know if there were any out of the box ones there, but yeah.
I like the John Cena Solo Sikoa one. I like that one a lot. And then I like the Jimmy versus Jey. I think that's inevitable. I didn't even have Dominic or Rey on my WrestleMania card. Not because I don't think that they deserve it or anything. I think they do. I don't know how long Ray's going to be out with his injury, and I want to see Dom versus Ray. But if he's going to miss time, like a lot of time, then we may not get it at Mania. And I don't know what else Dom could do. That's the only thing.
I don't know. Maybe he'll just be on the NXT. All right, your top 5 main card ones. You got to end it with night 1 and night 2. Okay, so do 3 and then end it with your night 1, night 2. All right, let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little different than what you did. I'm gonna go Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa. I think Randy's coming back to take out on the Bloodline. He's coming on SmackDown this week, so I think he's going to set his sights on the Bloodline and give the Viper versus the Samoan Street Champ and bring it on, make it happen.
All right.
I'm going to go. My winner of the Women's Royal Rumble is going to be Bayley, and she's going to wrestle Io Sky for the Women's Championship.
I like it.
So that's my women's championship match, and then I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley versus a returning Liv Morgan for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And remember, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan went 1 and 2 in the Mania in the Rumble last year, and they went bell to bell. Liv Morgan was the last one eliminated. And she's also the last person to officially pin Rhea Ripley in a match too. And there's a lot of history there, so I think they're gonna have a WrestleMania match.
All right, I like it.
So, and then I'm going to go Seth Rollins versus Gunther. And Gunther's the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is
night 1.
No, not yet. I'm not there. Not there.
Oh,
I think.
Oh,
I don't
is this
think
the third? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my third. And then my night 1 main event. This is completely out of the blue, but I feel like it's now or never. And we never got Sting versus The Undertaker. We never got Rock versus Shawn Michaels. This is the time that is going to happen.
Oh my God, I think I know where you're going.
Night 1 main event. CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Make it happen. That should be the match. Bring back Stone Cold. He looked good against KO a few years ago. Make it happen against CM Punk. That's the match we've all wanted to see. Stone Cold loves CM Punk. I have a feeling Stone Cold would put CM Punk over. Make it happen.
All right. Night 2?
Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
Wait, huh?
Yeah. Mind blown. Yeah.
Shocker of the night. All right. So I got to give it to you. I'm feeling, I don't think it's going to happen, but never say never, because KO and Stone Cold did main event night 1, right? When they wrestled, right? That was the main event, right? Because it was just supposed to be the KO show. That was the main event. So, and it was a banger. I don't know if CM Punk once again, he looks like a different human, but him in AEW, I don't think could carry Stone Cold the way Kevin Owens could. But if he's maybe mental's a lot. If he can do it, man, I appreciate that. Punk versus Austin. Winner is the best guy to abruptly quit WWE and then come back later. They both did. Austin's was even worse, man. He was like, wrestle the up and comer and Brock Lesnar. Get out of my face. I'm out of here. Grumble.
And there was rumors too.
Let me go beat Deborah and come back.
There were rumors that Stone Cold was paid a handsome sum of money to wrestle Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania last year, and he turned it down. I guess because I don't know if he trusts Brock with his neck or whatever, but apparently it didn't. That's why we got Brock versus Omos instead.
Well, here's my thing, dude. Brock doesn't hurt anyone. I think he's one of the safe. I think he's like Baron Corbin. He don't hurt. So yeah, he could do it. But once again, dude, talk about meaty men. He is like the king of them. And I don't care what you say. Like I said, I don't care how scripted wrestling is, bro. I'm assuming after a Brock Lesnar match, it's like you just got your ass kicked for how I would ice up, and that does not sound fun. So I don't blame Austin for that one. All right. I like it all, though. Good. I like how you're thinking. And I didn't even do an Io Sky, but I do like Io Sky and Bayley all day. I'll be
There's part of me that wants it to be a damage control triple threat. So we get Bayley versus Io Sky versus Dakota Kai. But I feel like they're going towards Bayley versus Io Sky
now, bro.
Yeah, I know.
5 damage controllers.
I know. We got to get Asuka and Kairi Sane in there. Yeah,
we do. All right, you ready for my 5?
Yes, bring it on.
All right, I'm going to start it off raw because maybe I like it raw. I'm going to go IC title match, the champ Gunther versus the newly turned newly kicked out of his faction, newly turned babyface, who's cashing in properly, Damian Priest. And I think Damian Priest is going to cash in on Gunther because I feel like it's going to feel important. He's going to stop that reign. He's going to beat Gunther and have a WrestleMania moment. I'm going to go with that after he kicks out of Judgment Day. Which I don't want him to get kicked out of Judgment Day, but I'm also not the writer yet of WWE. All right, I'm going to go. Yeah. Thank you. We both. Let's do it. Yeah. I'm going to go the Women's Championship or whatever Rhea Ripley's is called. And I'm going to go with, I think it's predictable. I see not a lot of people calling this as a WrestleMania match, but I'm doing Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. I think they're going to hold it off until then. I don't know if Jax wins the Royal Rumble. I think that's too obvious. But I think they will meet. Their fates will happen at the WrestleMania. I think that's the match why they brought her back. I'm going to do a match that I cannot believe you didn't even say. I'm going to do the U.S. Championship. We are getting the champ, Logan Paul, who will only wrestle once until then, versus your boy toy, the man that you love to watch in your sheets when you watch SmackDown, and that is L.A. Knight. Yeah. And we finally do this man right because everything else he's doing is wrong. I like that he was made fun of on NXT, correct? Someone came out and said that to Trick Williams, was it Braun Breaker, who said, you're just like a one-hit wonder, like you're like LA Knight on SmackDown. Well, all you can say is one thing and think that you're somebody or something like that. It was a great line, LA Knight. So this will help promote LA Knight. Like I said, give him a character, give him a secondary title run, build him up. He'll then be ready to face somebody like Roman Reigns. All right, night one, you ready? These last two are going to be obvious. Night one, I'm doing Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Mm-hmm. I think this match will be bigger. I think night one will make more money again. I think this will be way bigger than the night two main event, which is Cody Rhodes finally living his dream by defeating Roman Reigns and yada, yada, snooze. I don't know if we're going to get The Rock. I don't know if Damian Priest doesn't wrestle Gunther. Do we get a cash in? I could see CM Punk getting his moment winning against Seth Rollins and then getting cashed in because Punk has been there. He can take that hit. I could see Damian cashing in at Punk on night one after he wins.
There was animosity with the Judgment. So
that's what I'm saying. So I can see that. Yeah, I can see that happening. But yeah, that's my way too early. We'll see if how long these even can last. We'll see. They might fall apart before we even get close to Mania.
Yeah, like this was booking. I don't want to be a booker for WrestleMania because this was hard. Because I wrote down Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the US title, but I wrote down Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair as well.
That should happen. Yeah,
but I don't think it should be for a title. I think it should just be a match that we all want to see. But I have a feeling they may put a belt on, take one of these belts off of Io and put it on Bianca and give it to Jade. There's a lot going on. We have the Elimination Chamber in between that can be a huge factor as well. But yeah, it's gonna be hard to predict this WrestleMania. I don't even know who's gonna win the Rumble. Like this Rumble, it could be anybody.
You know what though? They just basically announced Cody is. He's on the cover now. It's like Cody Rhodes, and it says finish the story at Royal Rumble. Back-to-back Rumble winners too. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah, such hard times for Cody Rhodes because he's going to beat Shinsuke. He's lost 2 matches since he's come back to Roman and Brock. So
yeah. And what happened to the days of an up-and-comer winning the Rumble and getting not an up-and-comer, but that next guy? Cody's not the next guy. He's already the guy. He doesn't need to win the Rumble. Gunther needs to win we need the next guy.
That's why I had Gunther winning the Rumble.
Yeah. Punk winning 2 isn't really going to be. But Varna asked a good question before we go. Who's the heel, Punk or Rollins? I'm going to say Rollins. I think Seth is going to. I think he was already kind of getting booed. I think that's why he's doing this. That's why I think he was doing the whole middle finger thing and this and that. And I think the crowd's going to turn on him. I think CM Punk's going to get loved right now, and I think he is getting loved. I think he'll continue to get loved. Just remember, he's been gone for almost 10 years, 9 years. How long was he in AEW for? 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
So for 7 years, WWE events were getting CM Punk chants regularly. He is loved, dude. It's not like he's I think everyone forgets. CM Punk chants were going on until he went to AEW, and they were like, well, we can't do it anymore. And it wasn't just Chicago. Whenever there was a boring segment, whenever it was something they didn't like, whenever they would start chanting CM Punk. This has always been a thing. So, I mean, he is loved. So I see Seth turning heel for that match and Punk being the babyface hero.
I kind of want to see. I said this on TikTok though. I think a better match for Mania would be Punk versus Roman. Just because of the Paul Heyman factor, you have the
100%.
best in the world versus the guy who calls himself the greatest of all time. You have the longest reigning champion of the modern era versus the second longest reigning champion of the modern era. CM Punk's lost his belt to Roman Reigns' cousin, so the Ananoyi family has always been a thorn in his side. All the comments that Roman made about Punk, that he's not a needle mover, and that's why he had that needle mover shirt for a long time, and that all the comments Punk made about Roman, they got to make Roman look strong. I think a better match, move over Cody and Roman. I want to see Punk versus Roman, but at WrestleMania, I think that's a better match than both Punk and Rollins and Roman and Cody.
But if you're gonna do that, make it a triple threat. We got to throw in Lesnar too, and just have all three of them just go at it.
Yeah, let's have all the Paul Heyman guys.
Paul Heyman will just be like, and go back to Cesaro. Y'all forgot that. All right, last one, and then we got to go. Patrick, what's the over under to Punk getting into a fight backstage? I'm thinking 1.5 years. I'm gonna take the over on that because I don't think Punk's gonna pull that shit. There are no Jungle Boys in the locker room. Who is he messing with? Chad Gable? Who is
Bronson
he messing with? Roman, Bronson Reed.
Miz.
Punk ain't. No. Remember, y'all, Punk can't fight. He ain't about to mess with no WWE guys backstage. So I don't think that's happening. So I'm gonna go over on that.
I don't see it happening. I see him. I don't see him fighting people backstage. I do see potential backstage issues though. Punk has been very vocal about going to Saudi Arabia. So will he go to Saudi Arabia this time, or will he, stand his ground and stay home? Punk has been very vocal about, wanting to commentate those UFC fights. Will they still let him do that, or will he have to live up to his wrestling obligations? And what about watching hockey? That was this huge thing too. He wanted to watch the hockey games, and in the locker room, and people didn't like that. And, I think Jericho turned it off in the middle of while he was watching it backstage, and that set him off. So I do worry about little things like that, but I still think it's going to be a while before he's going to play nice for the first few months.
Well, the Patrick just texted me and he said under. So, and shout out to Varna for picking Curtis Axel out in there because that was another
and Ryback too. Yeah, Ryback.
He had Ryback for a minute. That's right. Oh my God, did you hear Ryback? Because he said he was going to retire and never wrestle again if Punk, and then he denied it. Right? If Punk came back to WWE, and now he's saying that if he returns to WWE, he'll get a bigger pop than
because
that was the loudest pop I've ever heard in my life. So I don't understand how he thinks he can get a lot. No one even knows who Ryback is. So he's just
there's a reason he hasn't been back since he left. Yeah,
exactly. Nobody wants him. Nobody, not even Impact. No, New Japan. Nobody wants Ryback. He was dangerous and awful. Oh my goodness. All right. With that said, that was our week in review. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. I like the comments. So anybody who didn't tune in, let us know about our WrestleMania predictions. If you're watching on the recaps, let us know in the comments what you think and how we're doing. With that said, tomorrow we will be on with our AEW edition, talking all things Rampage, Collision, and Dynamite. I'm sure Edge will be brought up, Adam Copeland, Christian, MJF, and all that good stuff. We might even have some other things to talk about because there are some things going down. So we'll see what's up with that. As always, I'm the dude of Wrestle Talk, Mr. MWO. Keep tuning in, keep subscribing, keep telling your friends. And with that said, I'm always paired up with my brother from another mother, Mr.
Shooting Star Press. Go follow us on our TikToks and social medias on Instagram and TikTok. Go follow Two Dudes with Attitudes on TikTok as well. We're blowing up. I put a CM Punk video up and it's got almost 7,000 views and people are arguing with each other in the comments. I love it. So go check us out over there, and then go rate us and review us on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe on the YouTube channel as well. We're blowing up. We're almost at 550 subscribers. So let's keep this train going.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Two Dudes Wolfpack. We out.
We're out.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. Welcome to the pod every Wednesday. Back to represent. Two dudes with attitudes. Yeah, here comes